Scientists use evidence. A fifth grade class is deciding what to plant in their school garden. The fifth graders ask, "What plant will grow best in our school garden?" The class has 3 packets of plant seeds: lettuce, green beans, and beets, but the class does not agree on which seeds they should plant. Some of the class thinks that lettuce will grow best in the school garden, while others think that green beans and beets will grow best. Since they only have space in the garden for one type of plant, their teacher says they can figure out which plant will grow best by evaluating evidence. Evidence is observations, data, or information that help to answer a scientific question. The fifth graders plan to evaluate evidence to answer their question. They will carefully judge and compare evidence to figure out which kind of plant will grow best in the school garden. The fifth graders have information about each plant from the back of the seed packets. The seed packets include information about how deep the soil needs to be for a plant to grow. However, they do not know how deep the soil is in their school garden. The class measures the soil in the garden beds. It is exactly 12 inches deep between the top of the soil and the bottom of the garden beds. They organize the information from the 3 seed packets into a data table so it's easier to make comparisons. Jake and Michael compare their measurements of the soil depth in the school garden to the soil depth listed in the data table for each type of plant. They make a claim that lettuce or green beans would grow best in the garden. A claim is an answer to a scientific question. The fifth graders evaluate the evidence from their soil depth investigations and decide it is helpful. However, the class decides they still need more information to figure out if they should grow lettuce or green beans in the school garden. John and Sabrina notice that the seed packets also show how much sunlight each plant needs. They organize the information from the 3 seed packets into another data table. Now they want to know how much sunlight the school garden gets each day. The fifth graders carry out an investigation to see how much time the sun shines on their school garden in one day. The data they recorded in their table helps them figure out that the garden gets about 6 hours of full sunlight in one day. The fifth graders decide this data is helpful for figuring out if each plant will get too much, too little, or just the right amount of sunlight in the school garden. They can use the sunlight data as evidence to support their claims about which seeds to plant. John and Sabrina claim that the class should plant green beans in the garden. They support their claim with evidence. They use their data table comparing information from the seed packets with the class's measurements from the school garden. The fifth graders know that they should clearly explain how their evidence supports their claim. Sabrina explains that they know the school garden gets about 6 hours of sunlight in one day. The lettuce only needs about 3 to 4 hours of sunlight, so it would get too much sunlight in the school garden. Green beans need 6 or more hours of sunlight per day, so they would get the right amount of sunlight in the school garden. Then, John and Sabrina also explain how evidence from the seed data table and the measurements of soil depth in the garden support their claim too. They know that the soil in the school garden is 12 inches deep. Green beans need soil that is 6 to 10 inches deep, so the green beans will have enough soil to grow in the school garden. Jose and Kate agree that with the claim that green beans are the best choice. They explain that beets need 6 or more hours of sunlight in soil that is 36 to 48 inches deep. The beets would get enough sunlight in the garden, but they would not have enough soil to grow. The class evaluated and used multiple kinds of evidence to support their claim that green beans are the best seeds to plant in the school garden. How will you evaluate evidence to answer your scientific questions?